Hi, everyone. It's Anna from Virgo. And yes, love is approaching, but there's something dangerous attached to it that nobody's telling you about. Don't skip ahead. This warning saves you from disaster disguised as destiny. Love arrives wearing masks. Sometimes it shows up as genuine article, sometimes as convincing counterfeit that mimics real thing. So effectively, you can't distinguish between authentic connection and elaborate performance until you're already invested, already attached, already compromising pieces of yourself you swore you'd never compromise for anyone. And what's coming toward you right now, what's moving into your reality with romantic packaging, with chemistry and attraction, and all the surface indicators that say this is what you've been waiting for. It carries shadow element that needs your attention before you get swept up in the intoxication of being desired, being pursued, being offered love after a period of being alone or being with someone who couldn't love you properly. The warning isn't don't accept love. The warning is know what you're accepting. Know what comes with the love. Know what the love costs. Know whether person offering love is offering it freely or whether their love has conditions, has strings, has agenda that serves them more than it serves mutual flourishing. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's what the money symbol in your title reveals about the specific warning you need. Someone is coming with love, yes, but also with financial entanglement that could compromise your independence, your security, your freedom, if you're not careful, is less than #0. 5 is greater than. This manifests in several possible ways, and which way applies to your situation depends on your specific circumstances, but the pattern is consistent across variations. Love and money get mixed together in ways that create power dynamics, create obligations, create situations where saying no to financial arrangement means risking love, where maintaining boundaries around money means being accused of not trusting, not loving, not being committed to the relationship. Let me show you what this looks like in practice so you recognize it when it starts happening. First scenario, they want to help you financially. They see you struggling, they have more resources than you do, they offer to pay for things, to cover expenses, to relieve financial pressure you're experiencing, and it feels like gift, feels like generosity, feels like someone finally caring enough to support you materially instead of just emotionally. But watch what happens when you accept. Watch how the help becomes leverage. Watch how they reference what they've done for you whenever you disagree with them, whenever you set boundaries they don't like, whenever you assert independence they find threatening. After everything I've done for you, I've been supporting you, and this is how you treat me. You wouldn't even have roof over your head if it wasn't for me. The financial help wasn't unconditional gift. It was investment. It was creating dependency. It was buying power over you that they exercise when you don't behave how they want you to behave is less than #. 0 is greater than. And now you're stuck because leaving means losing financial stability they've provided, means going back to struggling, means proving them right when they told you you couldn't make it without them, that you needed them, that you were lucky they were willing to help someone in your position. This is trap, elegant trap, trap that looks like love, feels like support, presents as partnership, but trap nonetheless. And getting out of trap once you're financially dependent requires either accepting significant hardship to reclaim your independence or staying in relationship where financial power imbalance corrodes actual partnership into something transactional, something where you owe, where you're obligated, where you can't leave freely because leaving has costs you can't afford to pay. Second scenario, they need your financial help. They're experiencing difficulty. They're between situations. They're waiting for money that's coming but hasn't arrived yet. They're dealing with emergency that's depleted their resources. And they ask you for help, not demanding, asking vulnerably, showing you they trust you enough to let you see them struggling. And you want to help. You want to be a person who shows up. You want to prove your love is real by supporting them when they need support. So you give, you lend, you cover expenses, you stretch your own finances to accommodate their needs because that's what people who love each other do, right? They help each other. They're there for each other. But the help becomes pattern. The temporary emergency becomes ongoing situation. The money you lent doesn't get repaid on schedule. They promised. New emergencies appear before old ones are resolved. You keep giving because stopping feels like abandoning them, feels like being selfish, feels like proving you never really loved them because real love would continue helping regardless of financial strain on yourself. And suddenly you're funding their life, you're covering their expenses, you're financially responsible for adults who should be financially responsible for themselves. Your resources are depleted, your security is compromised, your future is jeopardized because you're prioritizing their immediate needs over your long-term well-being. And when you try to set boundaries, when you say you can't keep doing this, they make it about love. If you really loved me, you'd help. I thought we were partners. You're abandoning me when I need you most. This is manipulation. Weaponizing love language to extract financial resources. Using vulnerability as tool to access your money without reciprocating, without taking responsibility for their own financial situation, without developing plan to become self-sufficient so you're not permanently funding lifestyle they can't afford on their own. Third scenario, they want to combine finances prematurely. They're pushing for shared accounts, shared expenses, shared everything before a relationship has proven itself sustainable, before trust has been built through time and consistent behavior, before you've seen how they handle conflict, how they respond to stress, whether they're actually capable of long-term partnership or whether they're still in honeymoon performance mode that will shift once they feel secure is less than #0, 5# is greater than. And they make hesitation about finances seem like hesitation about relationship. Don't you trust me? Don't you see a future with me? If you're not ready to combine finances, maybe you're not ready for real commitment. They conflate financial entanglement with emotional commitment, make them seem inseparable, make you seem like you're holding back from relationship when actually you're just being prudent about protecting assets you worked hard to build. This pressure reveals something important. They're either naively romantic about money in ways that will create problems later, or they're strategically trying to access your resources through creating financial entanglement that makes leaving complicated, that gives them claim to what's yours, that positions them to benefit from your financial stability regardless of whether relationship survives. Either way, combining finances prematurely is mistake, is vulnerability. You don't need to accept just to prove love is real. Real love doesn't require financial merging to validate itself. Real love can exist alongside separate bank accounts. Real love respects that financial independence serves both people by ensuring no one stays in relationship out of economic necessity rather than genuine desire to be together. This reflection invites you to consider which scenario sounds most likely given who's coming into your life or who's already there. Now let me address why money and love get dangerous when mixed without proper boundaries. Money is power. In society structured around economic exchange, having money means having options, having choices, having ability to leave situations that don't serve you. Because leaving doesn't mean immediate destitution is less than #0. 5 is greater than. Not having money means dependence, means limited options, means sometimes staying in situations you'd leave if you could afford to leave. When love relationships include financial imbalance or financial entanglement, that power dynamic inevitably affects the relationship. Person with more money has more power. Person who controls money controls decisions. Person who's financially dependent has less freedom to disagree, to set boundaries, to maintain autonomy, because financial dependence creates vulnerability that can be exploited consciously or unconsciously by person with resources. Healthy relationships require relative equality, not identical finances, not same income or same net worth, but both people having enough financial independence that they're in relationship because they want to be, not because they have to be, not because leaving would mean financial catastrophe that forces them to stay regardless of how unhealthy dynamic becomes. This is why the warning matters. This is why you need to hear this before you get intoxicated by romance, before you make financial decisions based on feelings rather than based on sober assessment of what serves your long-term security and independence. Love that requires you to compromise your financial stability is not love that serves you. Love that pressures you into financial arrangements you're uncomfortable with is not love that respects you. Love that uses financial leverage to control your choices is not love. It's manipulation, wearing love's costume, performing love's gestures while operating from entirely different motivations that have more to do with power and control than with genuine care for your well-being is less than #. 0 is greater than. So when love comes, and it is coming, when person arrives offering romance, offering relationship, offering all the connection you've been craving, watch how they handle money. Watch whether they respect your financial boundaries or push against them. Watch whether they try to create dependence or support your independence. Watch whether they want you financially entangled or whether they're comfortable with both of you maintaining separate finances until relationship has proven itself sustainable over time. Their approach to money reveals their approach to power. Their respect or disrespect for your financial boundaries predicts their respect or disrespect for your other boundaries. Their willingness to let you maintain financial independence shows they want you free, want you choosing them from genuine desire rather than from economic necessity. Their pressure to create financial entanglement shows they're building cage, however pretty the cage looks, however much they insist cage is actually nest, actually home, actually evidence of commitment rather than evidence of control. This reflection invites you to consider, what are your non-negotiable financial boundaries in romantic relationships, and are you prepared to maintain them, even if maintaining them means risking the relationship? Let me give you specific protective measures to implement when love arrives. First, maintain separate finances for a minimum of 1 year, preferably longer, until you've seen how they handle money, how they react when you say no to financial requests, whether they're financially responsible or financially chaotic, whether they create emergencies through poor planning, or whether emergencies they experience are genuinely unforeseeable, is less than #0. 5 is greater than. 1 year gives you data, shows you patterns, reveals whether initial presentation matches ongoing reality. During this year, split shared expenses proportionally if there's income disparity, but keep all accounts separate, keep all assets separate, keep all debts separate. You're dating, you're partnering. You're not merging into single financial unit until you have enough evidence to trust that merging serves both of you rather than primarily serving one person who benefits from access to other person's resources. Second, never give money you can't afford to lose. If you choose to help financially, consider it gift, not loan, because loans to romantic partners often don't get repaid, often create resentment when repayment doesn't happen on schedule, often damage relationship more than they help it. If you can't afford to gift the amount, don't give it as loan, pretending you're comfortable with loan dynamic when actually you need the money back and will be hurt if it doesn't return. And if amount they're requesting is more than you can afford to gift, say no. I care about you, but I can't compromise my financial security to help with this. What other options do you have? Their response to your no tells you everything. Do they respect it? Do they work to solve their problem independently? Or do they pressure, guilt, make you feel selfish for maintaining boundary that protects your well-being? Third, watch for financial red flags early and take them seriously. Borrowing money from you repeatedly, always having emergency that requires your help, poor credit, unstable employment through their own choices rather than through circumstances beyond their control, living beyond their means, not having savings despite having income that should allow savings, hiding financial information, being defensive about money conversations, pressuring you to combine finances quickly. These aren't small things to overlook. These are warning signs that person either has unhealthy relationship with money or has strategic interest in accessing your money. Either way, proceeding with financial entanglement is dangerous. Either way, protecting your financial independence is essential. Either way, you need to see sustained changed behavior before considering any financial merging, any financial support that creates dependency in either direction. Fourth, talk about money explicitly before getting serious. Not romantic, not comfortable, necessary. How do you handle money? What's your approach to debt? What are your financial goals? How do you think finances should work in relationships? Their answers reveal values, reveal patterns, reveal whether you're compatible financially or whether you're heading toward conflict that will damage romance no matter how strong chemistry is. Financial incompatibility destroys relationships, not just financial inequality. Incompatibility in values around money, in approaches to spending and saving, in beliefs about what money means and how it should be handled. Better to discover incompatibility early through conversation than to discover it later through conflict that erodes trust and intimacy because you're fighting about money constantly because you fundamentally disagree about how money should be managed is less than #0. 5# is greater than. This reflection invites you to consider, are you prepared to have uncomfortable money conversations early in relationship, or will you avoid them hoping everything will work out without explicit discussion? Finally, let me address the positive possibility. Not everyone who arrives with love comes with financial danger. Not every romantic connection includes problematic money dynamics. Some people are financially healthy, financially responsible, financially respectful of boundaries. These people exist. They're rarer than they should be, but they exist. They have their own resources. They don't need yours. They respect your independence. They want you free. They understand that healthy relationship allows both people to maintain financial autonomy while choosing to build together, to contribute together, to create shared financial goals while protecting individual security. If person coming toward you is this kind of person, if their approach to money is healthy and their respect for your boundaries is genuine, then love can be received without wariness poisoning it. Then romance can unfold without you constantly monitoring for financial manipulation. Then relationship can develop into beautiful partnership where money enhances rather than corrodes connection. But you won't know which kind they are without testing, without setting boundaries and watching response, without having difficult conversations and seeing whether they meet you with honesty or with deflection, without time revealing whether initial presentation matches sustained reality is less than #0, 5# is greater than. So receive the love, let yourself feel it, let yourself enjoy the romance and the chemistry and the connection, but receive it with eyes open, with boundaries firm, with financial independence protected, with awareness that love and money mixing badly creates disasters that are hard to escape once you're financially entangled with someone who's using financial ties to maintain control. Love is coming your way. It's real. It's arriving. It might be beautiful. But keep your wallet close. Keep your boundaries clear. Keep your financial independence sacred. Because love that requires you to compromise your security is not love worth having. Real love wants you free. Real love wants you powerful. Real love supports your independence rather than undermining it through creating financial dependence that keeps you trapped. Accept nothing less than that. No matter how good the romance feels, no matter how intense the chemistry is, no matter how much you want to believe this time is different. Protect yourself financially, maintain your independence. Let love be love without money corrupting it. That's the warning. That's what you needed to hear. Now go forward with wisdom, with boundaries, with clarity that serves your long-term well-being more than it serves short-term romantic fantasy.